Good morning. In the last lecture, we started relativity of mass, that is variation of mass with velocity, and the last equation we derived is m1 by m2 is equal to 1 plus uv by c square divided by 1 minus uv by c square, equation number 3. Let us move further. Let us try to find this one, 1 minus u1 square divided by c square. 1 minus, what is u1? u1 is u plus v divided by 1 plus uv by c square, correct? So let me write it here, u plus v, let me take this c square here, divided by c square divided by c square, this whole divided by 1 plus uv by c square whole square. Okay, so what we have here, 1 minus u1 square divided by c square, value of u1 is substituted, u plus v divided by 1 plus uv by c square whole square. This c square is taken here to get 1 minus u plus v square divided by c square whole divided by 1 plus uv by c square whole square. To make same denominator, let us multiply this one with this, that is 1 plus uv by c square bracket square minus u plus v by c whole square divided by 1 plus uv by c square whole square. Then let us solve this. 1 square is 1 plus square of this is u square v square divided by c to the power 4 plus 2 u v by c square minus u square by c square plus v square by c square minus 2 uv by c square whole divided by 1 plus uv by c square bracket square. This is further 1 plus u square v square divided by c to the power 4 plus 2 uv by c square minus u square by c square minus v square by c square, this is plus not minus, minus 2 uv by c square whole divided by 1 plus uv by c square bracket square. Let us have a look. 2 uv by c square minus 2 uv by c square. So this term get cancelled with this term. Now these 4 terms are left. So let us take 1 and this term, these 2 together. 1 minus u square by c square. Then this is minus v square by c square. From this let us take common minus v square by c square. Minus v square by c square is taken common. What left here is 1. Minus is taken common from this, minus v square by c square. What left here is minus u square by c square. I c to the power 4 is here. So it is minus u square by c square whole divided by 1 plus uv by c square bracket square. This is further 1 minus u square by c square, 1 minus u square by c square. This can be taken common. 1 minus u square by c square is taken common. From this 1 is left, and from this minus 1 minus v square by c square divided by 1 plus uv by c square bracket square. This is what? 1 minus u1 square divided by c square. Equation number 4. After getting equation m1 by m2 is equal to this, we started with this 1 minus u1 square divided by c square. We know value of u1 from this same article, u plus v divided by 1 plus uv by c square. That we have taken here. U plus v whole square, this c square is taken here, 1 plus uv by c square whole square. Okay. Then this one is multiplied with this denominator to make same denominator for this and this term, like this. It is expanded with the formula a plus b square. It is also expanded with the formula a plus b square. Minus sign is there. This minus is given to all the 3 terms here. Observing these terms, what we find, this and this identically cancels out. This one and this minus u square by c square taken in one bracket. From this and this minus v square by c square is taken common. What left from here? 1, and what left from here? Minus u square by c square divided by the same thing. If we observe the numerator 1 minus u square by c square, 1 minus u square by c square, it is common, so it is taken common. From this 1 is left, and from this minus v square by c square is left. Okay, and so we got here 1 minus u1 square by c square is equal to 1 minus u square by c square in one bracket into in other bracket 1 minus v square by c square whole divided by 1 plus uv by c square bracket square. Equation number 4. Okay, then I want to keep this equation as it is because we need this 1 plus uv by c square divided by 1 minus uv by c square. After having got this value for 1 minus u1 square by c square, let us try to get value of this one. 1 minus u2 square by c square. And if we put the values for u2, minus u plus v divided by 1 minus uv by c square, and use the same procedure as you use to get equation 4. This will be simply 1 minus u square by c square into 1 minus v square by c square divided by 1 minus uv by c square bracket square, equation number 5. Using the same procedure as we have used for equation 4, 1 minus u2 square by c square will be simply 1 minus u square by c square into 1 minus v square by c square divided by 1 minus uv by c square bracket square, equation number 5. Now let us divide equation 5 by equation 4. Let us divide equation 5 by equation 4. If we divide equation 5 by equation 4, we will get 1 minus u2 square by c square divided by 1 minus u1 square by c square is equal to 1 minus u square by c square into 1 minus v square by c square divided by 1 minus uv by c square bracket square divided by this one 1 minus u square by c square in one bracket into in other bracket 1 minus v square by c square divided by 1 plus uv by c square bracket square. This is for the 1 minus u square by c square into 1 minus v square by c square divided by 1 minus uv divided by c square bracket square into numerator to denominator, denominator to numerator. 1 plus uv divided by c square bracket square divided by these two brackets 1 minus u square by c square into 1 minus v square by c square. And observe the equation. 1 minus u square by c square, 1 minus u square by c square. This bracket identically cancels with this bracket. 1 minus v square by c square, 1 minus v square by c square. This bracket identically cancels with this bracket. And we are left with the terms 1 minus u2 square by c square divided by 1 let me go here we are left with these terms 1 minus u2 square by c square divided by 1 minus u1 square by c square is equal to 1 plus uv by c square bracket square divided by 1 minus uv by c square bracket square. After cancelling this and this identical terms, the terms left are on LHS 1 minus u2 square by c square divided by 1 minus u1 square by c square. We wrote it here. What left here? In the numerator this term, in the denominator this term, and therefore numerator is 1 plus uv by c square bracket square, and denominator is 1 minus uv by c square bracket square, and let it be equation number 6. Now let us consider square root of equation 6 on both sides. Take square root. Take square root of equation 6 to get if we take square root of equation 6, what left is 1 minus u2 square divided by c square inside the square root divided by 1 minus u1 square divided by c square inside the square root is equal to bracket square, square of the bracket will just go away, and the numerator will be 1 plus uv by c square divided by the denominator will be 1 minus uv by c square, equation number 7. So square root of 1 minus u2 square by c square divided by square root of 1 minus u1 square by c square is equal to 1 plus uv by c square divided by 1 minus uv by c square. Let us equate equation 7 with equation 3. Let us equate equation 7 with equation 3. If we compare equations 3 and 7, what we find? RHS of equation 3 and RHS of equation 7 are same. As RHS of equations 3 and 7 are same, LHS of these two equations should be same, and therefore let us equate LHS of equations 3 and 7. So after comparing equations 3 and 7, we could equate LHS of equations 3 and 7, and that is what? m1 by m2 is equal to 1 minus u2 square by c square inside the square root divided by 1 minus u1 square by c square inside the square root. This is nothing but do the cross multiplication to get m1 into 1 minus u1 square divided by c square inside the square root is equal to m2 into inside the square root 1 minus u2 square divided by c square, equation number 8. Now LHS is true for mass m1 and its velocity u1 as observed by observer O. RHS is true for the elastic ball B of mass m2 and its velocity u2. It means that LHS and RHS are independently true for any mass and any velocity in the frame of reference S prime, and therefore these two may be equal to some constant m0. This is equal to m0, this is equal to m0. These two independently is equal to same constant m0. Equation number 9. Equation 9 may further be written as m1 into square root of 1 minus e1 square divided by c square into the square root is equal to m0, or m1 is simply equal to m0 divided by square root of 1 minus e1 square divided by c square, equation number 10, and then m2 is equal to m0 divided by square root of 1 minus u2 square divided by c square, equation number 11. So for elastic ball A, equation 10 is written. For elastic ball B, equation 11 is written. If some elastic ball C is there, we may write equation number 12 for M3 and so on. So equations like 10 and 11 are true for any mass. Equations like 10 and 11 are true for any arbitrary mass in motion. And what is the meaning of equations 10 and 11? m0 is a rest mass of the ball under consideration, of the object under consideration, in equation 10 as well as in equation 11. m1 is mass of the object when it is in motion with velocity u1. m2 is mass of the object in motion when its velocity is u2. It means that mass of any object is changing if it is moving with a velocity. When it is at rest, its mass will be m0, it will be constant. This m0 is not going to change if the mass is at rest. But if the mass is in motion, its rest mass will change automatically by formula 10 or by formula 11. And change in mass of any object when it moves with certain velocity will be different from its rest mass, and that is given by equation number 10 and equation number 11. In general, I can write a formula for any mass m. M is equal to m0 divided by 1 minus v square divided by c square inside this square root, equation number 12. m0 is rest mass of any object. When the object is at rest, its mass is m0. We call this as a rest mass. If the object is moving with velocity v, its mass m0 will change. That will become mass m. And this mass m is given by m0 divided by 1 minus v square by c square. V is a velocity with which the object of mass m0 is moving. Of rest mass m0 is moving. C is velocity of light. Ratio of these two is some fraction. 1 minus fraction is again a fraction. Square root of a fraction is fraction. m0 divided by a fraction will be equal to m0 multiplied by a number greater than 1. It means that mass m is increasing. Mass m is more than m0. Mass m is more than mass m0. That is, mass of an object in motion is more than its rest mass. Mass of any object is more when it is in motion than its mass when it is at rest. And therefore, whenever an object is in motion, its mass is increasing. If we allow some object to move with a velocity of light, what will happen? Let us consider here that the object is moving with velocity of light, so that we have v is equal to c. Then m will be equal to m0 divided by 1 minus v square by c square. But what is this v square? It is c square. Okay, inside the square root, c square by c square 1, that is equal to m0 divided by 1 minus 1 0. It means that whenever you allow any object to travel with velocity of light, mass of that object becomes infinite. What does this mean? What may be meaning of this? It means that infinite mass is not possible for any object. Infinite mass is not possible for any object. However large, however huge the object may be, but its mass is never infinite. This equation tells us that mass of object becomes infinite. This mass will become infinite if and only if this object is traveling with the velocity of light. As infinite mass is not found by any physicist, any scientist in the universe. Infinite, very, very large masses are found. Very, very huge masses are found. But infinity mass is not found by anybody. It means that infinite mass is not present in the universe. It is not possible to have infinite mass for any object. In other words, any object cannot travel with the velocity of light. If any object travels with the velocity of light, its mass will become infinite. As mass of no object is infinite, it means that it is not possible for any object to move, to travel with the velocity of light. And therefore, the velocity of light is the highest attainable velocity in the universe. And this highest attainable velocity cannot be possessed by any matter. If it is possessed by any matter, mass of that matter will become infinite. which is never possible. Okay, so this is about the relativity of mass or variation of mass and object with velocity. Hope you got it. Thank you.